Hi, Sandy here. I have another fun project. I'm going to be printing and then cutting these beautiful flowers that I found in Cricut Access. They are in the Anna's Vintage Floral. So if you search for that, you'll be able to find them. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with these images here because this is what I can get to fit on a single page. So I kind of wanted to do a test cut with these, and then I can go back and print more of them if I want. I made each of these roughly around 2 to 2.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall, or vice versa, and depending on the layout of the flowers. A couple tips to point out when you go to print your image. For this particular situation, I do want to leave the bleed on, and what the bleed does is it has the ink kind of go over the cut edges so that when it cuts you get a nice good cut there and you don't have any of the white cardstock showing. And then I always turn the system dialog on, and that way I can make sure I set the highest quality for the type of print that I want, and I can make sure that the paper is aligned properly. And since I'm using medium cardstock, I have a rear paper tray on my printer, and so I'm going to have the medium cardstock go through that rear paper tray because it would get jammed if I tried to do it in the front paper tray. So I just printed these out on my Canon TS9000, and I will link that down below. Don't think you can get that model, but you can find something similar. Now that it has printed out the flowers, I'm going to select medium cardstock and default pressure, and we'll load it up and cut it and see what happens. I have the mat loaded. Hit the flashing Cricut button. I'm not exactly sure what is going to get cut out, so that's why I'm really curious to see what happens with these images. They're beautiful, so I'm hoping it just is going to cut outside around the I hope it's just going to cut the outside edges, so we shall see. It's finished cutting. It only took about 5 minutes or so. All right, I'm going to check it out and I'll show you the results. Well, I didn't have complete success. So it cut just around the flowers, which is what I was wanting, but it didn't cut all the way through. So I'm going to have to probably fussy cut around these to get these out. So I think I need to next time, instead of default pressure, try more pressure and see if I can get them all the way through. And I should check it before I unload the mat, and that way if it's not all the way through, then I can just have it cut again. But I didn't do that this time, so fail, but let me try again. I am trying round 2. This time I selected more pressure. It's going around and measuring the borders, and then it's going to start cutting. And I'm going to make sure I check it before I unload the mat and make sure it has cut all the way through. All right, I sent it through to cut a second time. And let's see. Oh yeah, I think we're in better shape. All right, let me get the mat unloaded and I'll show you all the results. Well, that second cut really did the trick. Look at these. Look how pretty that is. Printed that out on my printer and then the Cricut cut it out. Now some of the edges where there's some really fine like stems and things like that may not have cut out perfectly, but oh my goodness, I think they're really, really good. Really excited. I'm going to use these. I can use them on the cards I make. My primary reason was to use them in my junk journals. Put them on tags. You can see here, so the little stems didn't cut out so great. But, you know, I can either trim those off or distress them a little bit. But wouldn't these be really cute on some cards, maybe for Easter? Again, the thin little stems, a little rough there, but otherwise, I'm really impressed with how well the Cricut cut these out. And again, these are in Cricut Access. Look at that. Just really pretty. And I think this might be 80-pound cardstock. Not exactly sure. Again, the stems. But look at that. Gosh, I'm so excited about these, y'all. They're so pretty and they cut out so nice. Here are a couple examples of where I've used these flowers in this particular junk journal. So the first one here is on this tag. So I used my Dilutions ink sprays and made this tag, and then I just glued this flower on there. I love how that turned out. The next one, I had this little pocket here up top, and so I just put one of these flowers in here with this playing card. That's neat. And then the last one I wanted to show you was here. So I had this envelope flip out like that. And so I stamped on here and then just glued these little flowers right here. So just wanted to give you a couple examples of where I've used these in my junk journals. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video. Tell me what you think of these flowers. You know, what would you do with them? Would you use them on cards? What would you do with them? Please leave some comments below. And remember to hit that subscribe and that notify bell. Thanks. Let's go get crafty.